Hi, I'm James, the tooling engineer here at Haas Automation. Today we'll be going over Haas's new 50-watt fiber laser marking machine, the HL-50E. The HL-50E is a 50-watt infrared fiber laser marking machine. The fiber optic cable that acts as the laser medium produces a much higher output power compared to standard diode lasers that use laser mediums in the form of crystal or glass. As a result, fiber lasers like the HL-50E maintain a much higher quality beam due to the natural waveguide properties of fiber optic and are incredibly efficient in converting electrical energy to laser light. The laser source quickly pulses light in nanoseconds to give you the excellent thermal control needed for laser marking and engraving. Now, let's take a look at some examples of laser marking on various materials. At 1064 nanometers on the wavelength spectrum, the infrared light produced by the HL-50E is most suitable for marking on all sorts of lightly coated surfaces, including anodized metals and black oxide tools, but it's also capable of marking and engraving on most metallic materials like aluminum, steel, stainless, cast iron, and carbide, as well as on rocks and stones. Plastics and polymers are a bit more difficult to get good results on, but the HL-50E tends to mark better on darker and harder plastics. This machine is perfect for simple part marking and engraving, which could be as basic as logos for a small hobby shop or part identification for larger production environments. We've teamed up with LightBurn as the main layout, editing, and control software for the HL-50E. With any purchase of an HL-50E, you get a complete Windows 11-based desktop PC and a full lifetime license to LightBurn, backed up by your usual Haas support and 1-year shop support warranty. The software is intuitive and extremely easy to use, allowing you to conveniently import and manipulate all sorts of vector and raster files like JPEG, PNG, AI, and many others. After specifying a grid size that's based on your equipped f-data lens, quickly modify shape, size, and orientation using the built-in hotkeys to easily locate your imported elements onto your workpiece. Using the included f160 f-data lens, you can get a 110 by 110 mm working area, or roughly 4 by 4 inch, with a minimum spot size of 4/10. Conversely, using the larger f290 lens will net you a 200 by 200 mm working area, or roughly 8 by 8 inch, at a lower beam intensity and quality, but better focus across larger differences in Z height. Once your program is modified to your liking, simply save the LightBurn program file anywhere on the desktop PC to save your settings and imported elements. These files can be reopened at any point to freely edit or modify. There's all sorts of cool features in LightBurn that you can use to easily optimize your program and save cycle time, such as grouping image and text bodies, prioritizing certain groups and layers, or even changing the scanning angle of the laser to match the orientation of your imported elements. The preview screen allows you to see exactly what the laser is looking at and provides an estimated cycle time for the currently loaded program. This is especially useful when you're trying different marking settings out or just looking for ways to improve productivity. Use the material test generator feature to test different power, speed, and frequency settings in a grid-like format to see varying results on all sorts of different materials. Now, in the case of curved surfaces, LightBurn can also better compensate for differences in Z height by utilizing the cylinder correction setup feature. Since the laser beam is projected from a single point above your workpiece, the extra Z height difference on rounded objects causes elements to widen and curve the further you deviate from your calibrated laser head height. With cylinder correction mode enabled, LightBurn will alter the data sent to the laser to compensate for this difference in Z height, producing crisp and significantly less distorted results. Once I'm happy with my marking, I can go to LightBurn's material library to save all my different power, frequency, speed, and layer settings for a variety of different materials. Laser marking inherently produces very fine particulates as it removes material off of a workpiece. Because this is hazardous for inhalation, the HL-50E includes its very own standalone fume extractor. The system mounts directly onto the HL-50E and requires no external ventilation system for operation. Simply activate the machine and set a fan speed to your liking. That means the only real maintenance involved for this machine includes replacing the primary cotton filter every 2 to 4 weeks and the other 3 filters every 1 to 2 months, all available to purchase through HaasTooling.com. We'll be releasing a line of various rotary products that will bolt onto your existing HL-50E, and we're also looking into future compatibility with Haas's ever-growing cobot and automation options. Docs.lightburnsoftware.com also has a wealth of how-to videos and information that explain every included feature in LightBurn in greater detail. Keep an eye on HaasTooling.com to see future published settings for all sorts of different materials and results, as well as useful tips on troubleshooting common laser marking problems. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.